Welcome to another edition of Inside the MFL. I'm your host, Richard Myles Sr., CEO, Chairman, and founder of the Minor Football League. I want to thank y'all for tuning in today. As I say every week, be careful of this virus here because this pandemic is real. And I want y'all to take precautions, look out for your family, give you an opportunity to spend time with your family and your loved ones. And just take care. This thing is for real. And I don't want anybody to be misunderstand and think this is over because it's not. I also have I have some of my guests join me today. My GM from look like we are going to get ready this year for up in Michigan because now we do have our GM in place for the Michigan Steelers, and I want to invite him right in. Are you ready to come in, sir? How you doing today?
I'm ready, Mr. Myles. I'm pretty good. How about you?
How you doing? Oh, don't be trying to copy me with that. Yeah, I see you there. I see you there. Okay. We did have a little problem this year. We were supposed to start with another GM, but unfortunate, something happened. And we just glad to have this young man to step in, and we did our little feasibility study on him. And this is the type of person that the MFL want. It just sticks with the creed, what we're saying from the field to the front office. And I'm going to let this young man introduce himself so we can get right in because we're bringing out other guests on in the next minute. Because now we're also going to have with us, we're going to have down in North Carolina, we got the Oilers, and we have a GM for them. We'll be bringing him on in a minute, Mr. LA. But first of all, introduce yourself, sir, up there in Michigan.
Elliot Allen. I live up here in the Tri-Cities of Michigan, about an hour and a half north of Detroit. Excited to be the new GM. Kind of stumbled upon this on accident. Had no idea the MFL was even around. Shot you an email, trying to, I'm young. I'm actually still pretty excited to get on the field myself. But after learning more about what you guys are doing, what the MFL is doing, I see the opportunity is there for the young guys right out of college. And that's what I'm excited about. I played a number of years of football myself from when I was 8 years old all the way up through college, a couple combines and stuff. I wasn't fortunate enough to go to a big college and get the experience that I was really wanting. Was able to do a couple combines and that, but fell short a little bit. And I think that's where my passion is going to come into this, as far as giving guys like myself the opportunity to get more experience, that better experience, the professional experience, and get right in front of the scouts and stuff like that. So that's where my passion is going to come from, and building this Michigan team for the MFL. Been in Michigan a few years now, 3-4 years, after some moving around and doing different things. So love Michigan. I'm from the Midwest, from Illinois originally. So I'm used to the Midwest, and then just excited to get this thing rolling.
Okay. And as I say, the MFL is a laboratory of change, which we want to give young men an opportunity to finish prolong their season in terms of not season, but their career, go right into the coaching ranks. As you know, a lot of guys, I play in the league, and I know because you play in the league, that don't mean that you'll be good enough to be a coach or a GM. We want to train these individuals. And this platform, after looking at your stuff, we was excited, and we said, okay, these are the kind of young man we want to give an opportunity to in the MFL. And I know when you looked at everything, you couldn't believe it. You say, what is all this, huh? And did not realize that this was around. Weekend Warrior days is over. And I tell people all the time, it's not that you're not good enough to play in the NFL. It's just not enough room. And after watching your tapes and watching your stuff and doing our research on you, you was a hell of a ball player yourself and someone worthy of an opportunity to go to a Division I school. But then again, it's just the luck of the draw. Also, I want to also bring into the conversation, we have our GM for down in North Carolina, the Oilers. And I'm excited about LA. You ready to jump in LA and introduce yourself? I was on this guy's show before this guy come on. This guy exemplifies what we mean by the laboratory of change, giving young men an opportunity. And both of y'all, you're very vast in your business because you guys own your own business, and that's good. So, but I know passion, I know football is your passion, and you're like me, you can't leave it alone, man. You got to stay somewhere near it, but to give the younger people an opportunity. But right now, I want to bring LA, introduce yourself to the MFL Nation.
Well, first of all, I hope you can hear me okay.
I can hear you fine.
Okay, good. Richard, Mr. Myles, Mr. Man himself. I mean, first of all, Richard is, if you're feeling down, talk to Richard. I don't care about whatever, he will make you smile and he'll lift your spirits. He's got that great energy, and that energy to me relates. It comes right to the MFL. I'm excited. Football is in my blood as well. Media is in my blood as well. So I'm a talker like you, Richard. But I'm really excited for the opportunity not because these guys have a chance to play, because they are talented, but the legacy part of it is very important to me. Giving back, making sure you're taking care of your families through the entrepreneurship, through the education of, if you want to be an agent after you stop playing in an MFL, right, or anything else, you can do it and leave this legacy for your family. And I think that's the most important thing. That's the most exciting thing for me. I'm excited to put a good product on the field. I'm very anal about that. I'm right, competitive, so I want to win.
Right. Oh boy, here we go. And look at
North Carolina. You see the HBCUs and the other colleges. So we got a bevy of talent, and it's a lot of family friendly areas here to make it happen. So I'm excited for the opportunity.
Absolutely. And I want to reach out, and I have to commend you, LA, for your show. Great show. He had me on there a few times. Hopefully I would like to extend that. Hopefully you have some of our other GMs on. So, if that's possible, so people can see that Weekend Warrior days is over, man. The MFL is here. And I tell everybody all the time, it's just, documentation be conversation. We're not going to talk about what we're going to do. And as you know, the NFL is the NFL. We're not trying to be nobody but ourselves. And more importantly, they got 75 years on us. This is our 25th year, and they got 75 years on us. If you know anything about the history of the NFL, you can see it wasn't a easy road for them as well. But I want to just get into our GMs, because every week we're going to have our different GMs on, and I go to the Michigan GM. What does it mean for the MFL to be up in Michigan?
Well, I mean, if you look at simply just the history of the city of Detroit, let's go to Detroit, because that's, I mean, if we're being honest, that's where the MFL needs to be, is down in Detroit. With the big decline Detroit had over the years, and being able to turn that around in the way they have the past couple of years, just the jump in the economy that's going on down there in Detroit. This is only going to make things even better. People are starting to do things in Detroit. Things are starting to open up. Stuff's being built all over the place. So with that, and then the addition to the MFL, it's a huge opportunity for even more of these Michigan players and the colleges around the area to go that one step further and get closer to their obvious goal of getting in the NFL. This is an extra stepping stone for them that just wasn't there for a lot of guys like me. So that's a big thing for Michigan.
And we also want them to understand that it's so many opportunities here in the MFL for broadcast journalists. If guys interested in being agents, internship in terms of trainers, marketing, PR, right, graphic design. These all, you can come to the MFL and intern as well. It's summertime, and then we're talking about economic development, jobs for these young people. And we're part of the community. We're not just out there playing football on Saturday nights. the league is committed to be a part of the community, and we look forward to reaching out, talking to the different entities up there, and we want them to understand that we're just more than football. We're more than just a football organization. The MFL is the future, and and I'd say to people all the time, we used to always talk about, the norm is gone now, and we have to understand the fact that, things are going to be different than the way they used to be. You no longer can do some of the things that you did before. Even the simplest thing is shaking a person's hand right now. You can't do that, and not because you being disrespectful or something, because we don't know what this virus is, we don't have a cure for it. So these are the type of things we want the community to understand. We're not here, we're not just stopping in. We're going to be a fixture. And I did talk to the people up at the stadium up in Pontiac, Michigan Stadium. They called again, Mr. GM, and they asked me, and I told them, I said, we don't get nobody our business plan, but we will send you what we want from y'all. They said, okay, Mr. Myles, we looked at everything you sent us, and we were impressed. LA, I wanted to get to you. What does it mean for the MFL franchise to be down there? Now, North Carolina was another place that we did our feasibility study, and we just didn't. The couple of people we interviewed just didn't something that we all agreed on. But as I talked to LA, it was almost a no-brainer. Tell me what it means for the MFL to be down in North Carolina.
Well, unlike what the belief is in North Carolina, is that it's all about basketball. People love their football here. And you have a lot of talent here, a lot of different colleges, like I mentioned. Of course, you have the Panthers here. They've had experiences, but more importantly, as you mentioned, those guys who have talent that went to Duke or Carolina or Appalachian State or A&T or any other place, they didn't not only get a look, they didn't make a roster in that other league. So here's the opportunity to do this. There's nothing really going on in this state and in certain areas when it comes to sports. So this is a opportunity of a lifetime, because you give, it's all about the economics. It's not just about the football and about the opportunity to play football. It's about giving back. There are stadiums that are just sitting there in the spring and summertime. So here's an opportunity for them to make revenue, give local ball players, local heroes, local talent a chance to play on this team, this Oilers team that's going to win the championship, by the way.
Oh, you hear that? You better not let Pat hear that.
But
we heard that. We heard you starting stuff like everybody else.
Hey, man, I'm in it to win it. But so this is an opportunity.
And these would look nice on your hand.
Man.
These would look nice on your hand. And I'm quite sure we send y'all, don't forget the Chiefs are the beast in the East now. Okay. They're 80 these. I see my Michigan GM, he's there smiling. But the Chiefs are the beast in the East. So just don't forget that now. But going back to what you're saying, it's true, because and it goes back to what I was saying, it's all Americans walking the street. And after this year, you're going to even see even more guys. And I don't look at the MFL as being a second chance, because it's not. It's a first chance. And being in football shape and shape is two different things. As you know, you guys, you report sports and everything. You understand sports. You played. This is an opportunity for these guys to say, hey, okay, I didn't get a look. Now let me show you what we got. Because remember, our season starts when there's no boys club, no high school, no college, no NFL. When we finish, that's when all of these other entities start. So it's nowhere in the world that the league will not be able to see you guys. They're going to see y'all first. And you bring in college guys in that's border anyway. Most of them, if you've never been to an NFL camp, I tell you, most of the guys in uniform don't play anyway. And the ones that they are interested in, they are the ones that play on the specialty team. So you don't have the people you really want there. You just there to make your roster kind of fat for the preseason. Another thing I want to point out: the MFL is signing 53 players, and we don't do a cattle call. When you probably understand that, Mr. GM, up in Michigan, you go trial for the so-called combine, and then you work out 3 hours. You spend money to get there. You spend money for the combine and for the workout for an hour, and they tell you, well, you need to be developed more. Well, how you gonna develop if you're home?
Right.
You follow what I'm saying? So that's where the MFL come in, because we're going to sign 53 players. We don't do cattle calls. Of course, we want the best that we can fill, but at least with 53 players, we'll fill these rosters. And when you count 16 franchises, that's a lot of guys that other than that would be home, sitting there upset because he didn't get an opportunity to try out and stuff. As you know, gentlemen, we put half of the league over there in Africa. Tremendous response. And if you look at that draft, gentlemen, there was a lot of Africans drafted this year. A lot of African players were drafted this year.
Right.
So it goes to show you, also the MFL want them to understand they can stay at home, okay, because we're putting half of the league over there. Also, when more importantly, it's an opportunity, gentlemen. And I'll let each one of y'all kind of, expand on that. I'll go with you up there in the Midwest, up there in Michigan. So how do you feel about that?
The move over to Africa, man, that's huge. It's going to be fun going over there to play in the World Bowl. I can tell you that.
Yeah, and the opportunity to get over here as well for the players.
Oh, I mean, it's like, I touched on that before. Like the opportunity to, obviously it's not a second chance, but it's another stepping stone to get more playtime, more experience with even more professional guys around the country. If I was able to rewind time and do that same thing, it's perfect. It would have been the perfect thing for me in my situation when I got out of college in the level of play that I was able to get to be able to play in the MFL would have given me a couple more perfect years to show what I really could do and give me that extra chance to get in the NFL. But for a lot of guys, it won't. And that's the cool part about what we're trying to do is the MFL is going to be here for them, whether they make it to the NFL or not. And
absolutely,
whether it's a coaching spot, whether it's getting into the media end of things or whatever it is, there's going to be plenty of opportunity for these guys to stay with the game and keep getting more experience, even if it's not going to be on the field.
And you, LA?
Yeah, I look at this as a win-win for everybody. Those guys who are the football junkies that can't get out of their system, that before the MFL, and it's been around for a quarter of a century, of course, but those who didn't know about it, right, just had to stop playing. And they got this adrenaline that they still want to play ball. Here's an opportunity to do it on a local level. And then it's about local economics, because you're putting opportunities for stadiums to make money, which means the vendors make money, which means players get money. The fans come out. It's a family experience. You get to give back. You get to be inside your community. It's a win-win for everybody, whether it's here or in Africa. It's the same thing, I would assume, in Africa. You have the families and the communities that are going to come together and make this great league the way it is already. So I just want that. That's the exciting part about it for me. It's being a part of something special. It's being a part of something where you can give back, have a legacy, build from the economics from inside out, right? And I think that's the biggest and the most exciting thing for me to be a part of this league.
And also, we want people to understand we're not getting people off the street. I can show you 2,500 resumes right now.
Right.
But if it's not the right fit for us, you know what I mean? And then to answer some of these other, you have these people that always criticize. Well, you giving guys the opportunity. They never coached before. I think it was a coach that's coaching the Super Bowl just passed. He never coached boys club high school nor college, but he was coaching a team in the Super Bowl.
All because of nepotism.
Okay, there you go. That's because somebody gave him an opportunity to coach. See, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And some of these guys really deservingly don't get an opportunity. And we're not just talking about HBCUs, we're talking about other colleges around the country too. Think of some of these coaches, man, that if they had that opportunity to go to the next level, they should have been there. Okay. And I comment on the Rooney Rule, as I say all the time, interview African Americans. Don't do that. You should hire the best people, no matter what color their skin is. You know what I mean? So we need to stop that. But we're going to give people an opportunity that you don't generally find outside of college or professional football. And a lot of guys don't understand. I know some great players, man. They end up being some terrible coaches. I think all y'all can testify to that. Make offer coaches. Then you get some guys that might have been borderline as a player, end up being great coaches. You know what I mean? Because they know the game, they understand the game, therefore they can implement that. So these are some of the things that we want people to understand about the MFL. We ain't just finding people. We look at everything. We look at everything, and we want to find the right fit. We have a lot of people, well, I want to go up to, but you're not from Michigan. Why would you want to go way up there and you're not from there? Or I want to go to North Carolina. You're not from down there. So these are, and I admit we have made a few mistakes in trying to give people opportunities. But now we're not going to do that. We will be ready, and I think things happen for a reason. It's unfortunate the virus came up, but in 25, this will be the 25th year. This is the first time the MFL didn't go. And you guys, you always say documentation be conversation. Google us. But when you heard about it, you said, but when you Google it, that's the first thing people do. All right or wrong? What they do? Go on the social media. And they say, what in the heck? I didn't know about all this. Why I ain't know about this? You know what I mean? Because now the different powers to be always control the narrative. The MFL control our own narrative. We have the MFL network. Okay? We have our stuff is brought. We can't go into the station right now, but we're still broadcasting. You can go on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock, you can listen to Inside the MFL. You'll listen to this exact show right here will be on. So that's a plus there. As you know, being in media, LA, that makes it not a difference because people don't want to hear about what you're doing, really. They want to see it. But more importantly, they want to hear about it too. And that's where the MFL, we head and shoulders above when the NFL first started. If a lot of people don't know the history of the NFL, and I'm quite sure you know about it, LA, and then maybe my gym up there, man, it was different. But now, this is an opportunity that you have an opportunity to get yourself some good coaches. How many times guys came to you up there in Michigan, say, man, you great ball player. If you ever do something, you ever need my help, let me know. How many times you said, wow, I'd like to get back into football, but it takes 5 years to get it out your system. You know that, right?
I think it takes longer than that.
Yeah. So I know when you saw this, you say, hey, because we looked at your stuff, we said, wow, this guy's talented. And you haven't had that opportunity to see his stuff, LA. We're going to make sure you see it. But he's, and I'm not just saying it because he's one of our GMs. This guy was a hell of an athlete, man. If you look at his stuff, man, but that's one that did not get an opportunity that should have been in the league. So expand on that a little bit.
Elliot.
I'll let you go, Elliot.
Well, I mean, thank you. By the way, that's that means a lot. I mean, I spent my whole life pouring my heart into football, the training. I mean, it was all football, all through college. I didn't have an off season. There was no off season to me. So to be able to learn about the MFL and to know that there is now that opportunity for the guys to keep moving forward, and know that college is not the end, even though the NFL isn't quite ready for you, but that's exciting to me. I mean, at the same time, it's kind of bittersweet because I'd like to put the shoulder pads back on, but I want to create that opportunity for as many guys as possible. Get the MFL out there to all the colleges in the whole state, big or small. I mean, it doesn't matter. There could be kids, with D1 talent that, made it to the Division II or NAIA. So that's going to be my big goal, is to get the word out there as much as possible to all these colleges and all these players, and let them know that on the field or off the field, there's a lot of opportunities going to be coming for them in Michigan. So.
And I told him, make sure, LA, you give me all the media up there. And LA, he gave me all the media up there. He gave me the media list of all the media.
Hey,
up there. But you, LA, let me go to you now. With that, conveying that same thing. And you've mostly been in media, but the schools down there, a lot of you have ties to the HBCUs and other big schools. And what does that? What do the MFL mean in terms of the opportunity for these young guys? Because I tell guys in a minute, football, man, you've been eat, sleep, think, and drinking football all your life, and you get an opportunity. You're a senior. You played 4 years, maybe 5 years. You got the extra year if you got hurt or something, And when and for I got something on here, and they asked us, is any teams in Missouri? Yes, we have the Rams up there. We have the Nebraska Rams up there in Missouri that we're interviewing for up that way. But Missouri, we're thinking about seriously of putting a franchise up there. We just got to get some more resumes. You can send it to experienceMFL@gmail.com, or you can call us at 240-551-8031. If you have some people that has a resume that we sure take a look at it. I jokingly say this, gentlemen, I don't turn down that but my collar, if it's right. But getting back to you, LA, as someone that covered media and stuff, and I want to take a few minutes, later on, LA, that you kind of ask me and Elliot some questions, because that's that media side of you too. So, and I want to thank you, LA. I don't think that we could have picked a better choice down there, to head the franchise down there. But getting back to what we were talking about, you played football all your life. Now you finish in college and someone tell you it's it for you. That's a heck of a thing to swallow, man. That's a heck of a thing to swallow. Tell me how you think, LA, these guys handle that, because some of them can't handle it well, and what it would mean to most of these guys.
Well, I agree with you and Elliot in terms of, football is a lifestyle, and if you've been playing it, I played it not as long as you guys have, but certainly played it where you get it.
Oh, man, you just dated me. Okay, I'm 64. I ain't lying to nobody.
We got the great thing going on, but anyway, no, I'm kidding. But it's really it's a passion, man, and
right.
you miss being on a team, going to battle with a teammate. You miss the physicality, like you gotta
camaraderie,
that physical part of it to go. It ain't enough golf and stuff like that to play, but no football, right? You miss it, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's so many guys that I know that I've had on the air that have former players that say and they go into coaching and they try to be around it. They're coaching their kids' AAU team, or some kind of sport, just to kind of stay competitive in their mind. So when this opportunity comes to North Carolina again, we have some superior talent that
absolutely
never got a chance to get a look based on whatever combines, whatever the case may be. They just didn't get an opportunity not only to get a look, but they didn't get a chance to play. So for this opportunity for them to have, it's they're like a kid in a candy store all of a sudden. I can imagine that. Like they're really excited. They're ready to put the pads on now. And I can't stress enough, it's that part afterwards that is going to teach them, like you learned playing in another league and now owning this league. Okay, life after football. Once you really can't physically play anymore, you got to do something, and you got to be able to fall back on it financially. And I think that's the biggest part of the experience that they'll get, that they will never get anywhere else. Certainly not with that other league. So
absolutely, and I'm great. I'm glad you touched on that because, as you can see from our information, our PowerPoint stuff, we look at the players beyond the field. You can't play this game forever, although we think we can. Your body say one thing, your mind say, look, your mind say, I'm gonna do this, and your body say, oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna, but your body just tell you can't do it. But we want guys to understand it's life beyond the field. That's why we have franchising opportunities here as well. We don't want to come in to a community to take anything. We there to give. That's why we have our programs working with at-risk youth, no thugs, no drugs, early youth offender program, conflict resolution. These are things that we're implementing in the community that will be vital and it be speak volumes for the league and what we're doing, because we want people to understand that we want to be a part of the community. That go Frank that played up in Michigan. What is he doing now? He ain't doing that. Oh, he playing the MFL. Okay, now you still relevant, Elliot. You know what I mean? Now you still have relevancy there. You follow what I'm saying, LA? You still relevant. Now you dance teams. I know y'all see we do have dance teams. We will put them together for y'all. I didn't realize how big dance teams were. That's big, man. That's big. And every girl we had, when I say we, the Redskins, the Washington Chiefs organization, our girls went on and made the Wizards team. Some of them made the Ravens. Some of them went to the Redskins. So these ladies go on to the next level because now they can't say you don't have experience, Elliot or LA. You can't say that because you've seen them. Because we was getting invited just as many places that the Redskins Chili's was. And if y'all look at our picture and you didn't know what you're looking at, you thought it was the Redskins Chili's, right?
Right.
Because the colors are similar and all the things that we're doing it's community friendly. And we want these people to know these players, not only just on Saturday nights. We want to see these young men in the community all the time.
And think about the lives you're touching too, Richard. With your at-risk community work. Think about the impressions and the lives and the relationships that you can make in these communities. That I think it goes beyond football. I mean, you're building legacies within your families, but you're building legacies within those communities. It continues.
Absolutely, and we I get calls, little crazy calls like this, but they really don't know. Guys say, "Wow, is this new?" The XFL folded. So this the other league? Y'all didn't know? I said, "No, we've been here." Well, how much you guys paying? I say, "Where did you play last year?" "Oh, I played semi-pro. They ain't paid me nothing. So why would we pay you anything? You didn't get paid nothing there, and you say you played semi-pro. You're out there, no insurance. You got to get there the best way you can get there. It's like get your equipment. Come on, older guys cursing, look up in the stand fussing. If you've seen one of our game, never nothing like that. Very professional. The coach, the players are there with their coaches. You speak to the people in the stands after the game over when they come down and get autographed. So see, no, we do not pay any money. It says that on our website. But we have $1 million worth of insurance on the player. We take care of the traveling, the hotel. We provide the uniform because we do not want to be out there looking like the Raggedy 11. I tell people all the time, image is everything. Right, Elliot?
Oh, yeah.
Image is everything. Right, LA?
Good, play good.
Image is everything, and you only get one chance to make a first impression. Even our uniforms are so unique. What do y'all think? Is the uniform unique or what? You can
Very
tell
much.
these are MFL uniforms.
Very much.
Oh, yeah.
So and we want to have that. We want to be different from other people, but integrity, commitment, in all that we do. We're not. That's why I say, and no disrespect. Everybody asks me, what is the secret to the MFL? It ain't no secret. It's a concept. We don't want older guys. If you know anything about professional football, 28 is the limit for free agency, but you better be in the league. You know what I mean? You ain't coming out the street in 28. Don't care if you ran a 4.1. That's just not going to happen. So we want the young guys. And I tell people all the time, now we have so many programs set up for the young kids that we forget, LA, what about the kids that come out of college? What happens to them now? It has to be somewhere, as you know, Elliot. So what happens to them now? So we didn't use them up and threw it away. I don't know if y'all see me up on Capitol Hill talking about, advocating for the kids, for their lightness. Maybe y'all seen pictures of me up on Capitol Hill, because now college give you an opportunity to play, but they take your other rights away from you. So, how do you, and I want to touch on that with you gentlemen for a few minutes. I don't think, now, a lot of people might not disagree with me, I don't think college players should get paid. The reason why, because you open Pandora's box. These kids don't know how to manage the money. They're going to be, if you're a borderline player that can be good, if you making appearances and stuff somewhere, nobody's going to tell you, you got to pay taxes on that money you got. So now this is a problem. If you're going to pay a guy, why not put something in a trust for him after he leaves college, so when he starts whatever other profession, at least he have a cushion where he can get a place of his own. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just me. I don't know. I'm going to get y'all intake on it. But that's my reason, no, because now, Elliot, you're a better player than me. You're going to want more money than I get. Right or wrong?
Right.
Now, college, and everybody know the NCAA been stealing for years. They've been crooked for years. Everybody know it. But now that they've been peeped on everything, now they knew this was going to bite them in the butt eventually. It was going to get them eventually, because coaches cheat. You think about it. You paying a coach $10 million to coach, and you ain't getting paid a dime. He ain't taking ad lick out there, right? He go get another job somewhere. Then what happens to you? He got the tennis shoe deal. He got the apparel deal and everything. But what the kids get, they out there, you get your ACL torn, you done. You had to even fight to keep that scholarship. Maybe they'll let you come back and finish your degree. So these are the types of things I go to you first, LA. Give me your take on that.
Well, yeah, I think you touched on both sides. I guess the way you put it, I can agree, because I definitely think that, to be quite frankly, and I talk about this on my show, that the NCAA is a plantation mentality. These coaches can leave and come and go anywhere else. They don't, lose any eligibility. They don't take away any money or anything. But these kids try to do it, they lose eligibility. If they take $1 from an agent, they lose eligibility.
I'm not taking hamburger.
So I think I can agree with, like you said, putting the money aside, but they need to get paid. If they don't get paid now, they need to get paid later, because they're doing all the work. And then, I won't call out coaches. You know all the coaches, the big time.
How do you regulate this? How do you, in what way, and we'll get to you in a minute, Elliot, what way do you monitor that? That's like Pandora box. The NCAA is really bigger than the NFL. And let's just be honest, because you got how many teams? NFL only got 32. The NCAA got so much money that it ain't fun. I was sitting down talking, just, get off subject for a minute, gentlemen, bear with me. I was talking to a friend of mine, and they were saying that HBCUs, the HBCUs should have their own tournament. In Division I ball, you win 6 games, you go to a bowl. You got some schools in the black colleges they win 7 or 8 games. They can't get in a bowl because there are no bowls. That's how you subsidize money for the league. You got enough millionaires out here that say, okay, let's have that bowl. Let's have the Martin Luther King Bowl. You got great leaders, Market Golf Bowl. Let's name some of these bowls after these great black leaders, and then you help get revenue for the schools. Or maybe it's just me. Maybe I'll let you finish that before we go to L.A. L.A. I mean, we'll give you Elliot after L.A. answer that. I don't. Maybe it's just me, gentlemen.
The HBCU stuff is wicked, man. That's a whole different time, huh? We have to talk another about. But right. I don't know. I won't say that I know exactly how to do it. Like what you said in terms of paying the players is a good idea, but they need to be paid because they're doing the work. Listen, you can lose. People don't understand. When you're in college and you get a scholarship, that scholarship is for 1 year mostly. You bust your knee up, you're done. They don't have to give you another scholarship. You're done, right? They don't have to. You try to transfer, you not only lose some of your credits, but you may have to sit out. So it's really set up. It started out as student athletes and about students and getting graduates, but we know. Like you said, the NCAA prints money. And so at some point, in some kind of shape, whatever they come up with, the players need to be paid either now or like you said, when they leave, so they have a little nest egg to get through whatever they're going to get through. Because if Nick Saban can quit his job at the Dolphins and jump back to Alabama and move from Michigan State and make a ton of money off, when Coach K can make all this money off car dealerships here in Duke and all this kind of stuff. Meanwhile, all these kids, if they go away from oodles and noodles for dinner, they lose their eligibility, then that's totally unfair. I feel that way. If the coaches can do it and they're making all the money and the players are really putting them on the pedestal, on the map, then the players should get some kind of stipend now or after.
Okay. Elliot, come on. I know we've been waiting for you. I know you can you can really dive into this.
I can. I'm really glad he actually brought this up. I was actually just talking.
That's why this is inside the NFL.
Yeah. I was just talking about this with somebody a few days ago. It all depends on how you look at it. In my opinion, I got paid to play college ball.
That's with everybody, but you really didn't.
Right. I mean, but that's the way I look at it. I mean, I got to get a 4-year degree with nothing out of my pocket. To me, that I got paid, but I feel like the second that you start putting money into these college players' hands, the heart of the game changes. When you're in school, when you're in college playing ball, when you're in high school playing ball, you're not thinking about the paycheck that's going to be sitting in your locker after the game, whether you win, you lose, you break your leg. You're not thinking about that. You're thinking about that game and winning that game, the next game, winning that game, get into the Super Bowl, get into the championship, getting through the playoffs. That's what you're thinking about. And I feel like as soon as these young kids start getting money, in their pocket, it's well, I want more. Why am I not getting paid more money? Why am I not getting more play time? Why am I not getting as many balls thrown to me? That's what these guys should be thinking about. They should be fighting each other for play time, not fighting each other for how much money they're making. That's just the way I view it. I'm afraid. Personally, I like college football more than the NFL. I like watching it more because I know the heart that these guys are putting into it. Not saying that the NFL guys aren't putting their heart in the football, but there's just a different mentality about playing for your heart and not anything to do with money. So the thought of these guys starting to get big paychecks is a little wary to me, but that's just my opinion on it.
Well, but anytime you, I'm sorry, let you go, LA. Anytime you put money into the factor, like me personally, I think the biggest mistake that we made legalizing sports gambling. That's going to be a problem. Y'all remember I said that. LA, I know you want to comment on that.
Well, with all due respect, tell that to the kid that grows up with no parents or Big Mama raised them. Sometimes we have to look at the environment where these kids come from. Not all of them come from two-parent homes,
Right.
or privilege or money. So if they're coming from my hood, right? So where I grew up,
Or mine.
Getting that education is certainly important. A lot of
Right.
families, that kid might be the first kid to graduate from college. But that kid also may have a younger brother or sister, a grandmother, a mother that's in poverty. So they are looking at the money, right? But there are a lot of cases, right, that a lot of kids that have graduated over the years that have played hard to earn that situation. But we have to be very careful because I made a case about Tyler Hansbrough. If you know him, played in North Carolina basketball. He came out and said that, Tyler Hansbrough, I'm making an example. Mother was a doctor, father's a doctor. So he can stay in school for 4 years because they got money, right? So he can get his education, play well, and oh, by the way, he made the NBA. So we have to be careful because sometimes when we come from tough environments where we're poor or we don't have that nest egg to make sure, we're trying to get the financial aid and the scholarships and everything else. But on top of that, we still got to eat. There is a reason why some kids go to college. It's similar to some people who go to the army or the military to get out of the environment, to get the GI Bill, to make something of themselves. So not everybody are in a position to completely, honestly, if we're honest, play just for the game. Some people are playing for other mouths to feed, right? So that's where that part comes into. So we have to keep that in our mind when we talk about the conversation of, guys getting paid, because like I said, from my hood, there's a lot of brothers that I know that, we struggling paycheck to paycheck, and it's just a different atmosphere. And I'm not saying, Elliot, yours is different. I'm just making a point of those situations are out there, and we have to kind of keep those situations in our heads as well.
Elliot, maybe I need to rephrase that. I'm talking about legalized gambling, sports gambling, because you got a young kid and some people come to him and give him some undershaved points. That can not only be dangerous for what he's doing, but dangerous for him as well. What is your take on that, Elliot?
Me?
Yeah.
Or LA?
No.
Ah, man, that's a whole nother animal. I mean,
you got to touch on everything inside the NFL.
I mean, you hit it on the head, man. Especially legalizing it for college ball, and these kids, obviously we're talking about these guys getting paid to play football, but if they're not getting paid to play football, but there's guys out there with a lot of money who are betting on them win or lose, that's going to make, a lot of guys, that'll make my eyes widen up like, oh, I gotta lose this game and you're going to do what? It's going to make things real crazy real quick, because that's going to be out there. There's no doubt about it. Guys are going to want players to definitely shave some points or miss that kick, drop that ball. So that's a touchy one on me.
And now that you're here, what are some of your expectations of where the league heading right now?
The college or
the MFL? The MFL.
The minor league football.
The minor football league.
My expectations on the minor football league. That stays right along with what we got going on now. Knowing that these guys get that second chance, they don't have to, not saying that money's, an issue, but the heart's still there. Giving them the opportunity to make that money, staying with the team, becoming a coach, so many different jobs when it comes to starting an entire football team. Those expectations are going to stay there, the entire way for them.
And being a part, going to get to you, LA, being a part of a league like this, and eventually we'll get to players getting paid as the franchise is sold. That's the great thing about this thing here. The fact that it only gets better in terms of what we're trying to do. The NFL wasn't the NFL 100 years ago. I'll let you go and expand on that, LA. I'll let you go in on that.
Well, I mean, I get you. The NFL wasn't the same 100 years ago for a lot of different reasons.
Right.
It's better for a lot of different reasons. But again, I look at the opportunity for the players. Some people say hone their craft, but they already have a craft. Like you said, these are already all pro, all talented, all whatever school players, right? That everybody knows in the community. I look at it again as an opportunity to learn a craft, to learn to teach another. You could be mentors. You stay in the league. You move up. You might be next to Richard Myles. Who knows, right? You might get up to that point and be his right-hand man. But it's an opportunity. Again, I want to stress that, again, the opportunity is a win-win for everybody involved. There is no other minor league or any league that I can think of off the top, maybe somebody else could think of, that you have a chance to play, to move forward wherever you want to go, or to stay there and build on whatever that is. Whether you want to be a sports agent, whether you want to own the team, whether you want to be a GM, whether you want to get into coaching, mentoring, taking it, even Richard, even going from the field to off the field, working in the community in some capacity, as a liaison for the league. So there's a lot of different opportunities. That's the biggest word, opportunities, in each of these communities, whether it be in Michigan or in North Carolina.
And we're the laboratory of change. We're gonna shout our players out that do great jobs in the communities, just like the NFL do. We ain't nothing but a carbon copy of the NFL. We are the laboratory of change. In other words, the NFL is not going to change. They who they are, but we come with all these different changes that's going to benefit everybody. And like I stated before, we still want women GMs. We still looking to interview women GMs because we want everybody at the table. Elliot, we want everybody to understand that this is the laboratory of change. We're going to do a lot of different things. We're not going to protect the quarterback in terms. This is football as it, the old way it used to be. We're not going to line up 5 yards from each other to kick the ball off. That craziness that they did in the XFL. We're not making a mockery of the game. But more importantly, we want the guys to feel like, hey, it's not over for you. You finished college, you got your degree. Okay, now for 5 years, if you want to, or if you want to get an opportunity, because I tell you, I'll make sure the scouts will be there. They'll be there. Now it's up to them to say and handle these guys, and we're going to put things in perspective. So that's why we want kids that are in school for a business that's interested in being agents. This is where you learn it. This is where you learn how to represent guys and see how it's done. And these are the type of things, gentlemen, that we're trying to do. How can they contact you, Elliot, up there in Michigan, for the people up in Michigan?
989-313-5330. Elliot Allen 91@gmail.com is a good way too. Coaches, media, announcers, we're looking for it all right now. Pretty lined up on a dance team, manager. My wife knows some people, and they're real excited about that. And I know I was talking to you about it and some stuff. So, but anything else, we're going to start looking out for coaches and all the rest. So,
And your page, the Michigan Steelers page will be up and everything. They'll be able to contact you on that. You know, as we're finished talking, you know, sometimes we got to be up and going where they can contact you there. LA, I mean, how did they get in contact with you, Mr. Oilers of the Carolina Oilers?
Well, it's funny. Just from that other league, I'm a big Steelers fan, so I kind of want to root kind of for Elliot a little bit. But the Oilers certainly first and foremost. But they can reach me at 919-357-5411 or LA Batchelor with a T 40@gmail.com. And I look forward to having the opportunity. I've been talking with some people in all phases of the administration, if you will, that will be in place in terms of coaches and filling out stadiums and everything else. So I'm excited about it. I'm ready to roll, and it makes me feel like I'm back in the game somewhat. But I'm definitely excited for the opportunity.
And your page will be up. The Carolina Oilers page, your page will be up too. And you can also put your stuff. You also put your stuff up on there. I want you guys to put your information up on y'all Facebook page, and y'all Facebook page to be up and going by the weekend. So they will also be able to contact you also on the Michigan Steelers Facebook page and the Carolina Oilers Facebook page. And gentlemen, I want to thank y'all for being on. And of course, y'all will always come on the show, so people get used to seeing you. And hopefully, LA, I want to thank you for having me on your show, and I look forward to you having our GMs on your show as well. Then you get a chance to actually talk to him. And I'm gonna tell you something, LA, he gonna drill you, buddy. You go on his show. No, aside, it's great. But I want to thank y'all for being a part inside the MFL, and I'll see you Friday.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Good meeting you, seeing you.
Thank you.